Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up. Let's get ready to rumble. How you like that? How you like that? Welcome to Wake Up, Legendary. My name's Dave Sharpe. I'll be your main host. This guy's name's Ryan Halper. He'll be my co-host. What's up, buddy?
Not too much, man. How's it going?
Oh, brother, it's going great, man. We're living, we're living.
For sure.
Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things, value. Who doesn't love value, Ryan?
I love a good value. And it's a good follow-up to what we talked about yesterday too. Or what I talked about yesterday, which is like lead magnets and offers and stuff. So
fantastic. I love value. I love lead magnets. I love offers.
Yeah, definitely. And I love getting a good value too. And I love being entertained by things that are valuable also. And, and there's an equation for it. There's a formula for it. There's specific components. It's one of those things that we've talked about a lot, but we, could touch on it as many times over and over because it's something, you always need that refresher on. It's, a lot of people say provide value, be valuable. And nobody really knows what that means. In my interpretation, the way I like to think about it is that value's created immediately and then you just deliver it, right? So your headline, that's where you're creating value. Your hook in your video, your thing that makes them say, oh, I want to watch this. That's where you're creating value. And then you just deliver it, right? Your landing page where you're advertising that lead magnet. Right? That's where you're creating value for the person that's looking at it. You're making it appear valuable. You're putting good packaging on it. And then you just deliver the value, right? You give them what you said they were going to get. That's my very simple 30,000 foot sort of way I like to look at it. And since I started looking at it that way, it's actually kind of made it easier for me to actually do it.
Yeah. And what you're speaking about right now is perceived value.
Yeah.
And value is you are explaining and delivering the value up front with your marketing and your sales process. You're creating the perceived value that somebody's going to get. And that's why buying something is really exciting because people perceive the value that they're going to get. And it's, I've had this happen in a couple of different ways over the years, but one way to think about it is taking a vacation and how excited you are. You perceive in the future this thing is going to be so fun, so you look forward to it. And that perceived value is both it's exciting, but it's also, what you look forward to and why you spend $10,000, $15,000 to book a vacation. Same thing. Same thing with any product. The perceived value is really important. And you have to create the value up front and show them the value. That's your marketing. That's your sales process. Because if you don't, then your product's just going to be a great, valuable product that sits on the shelf that nobody buys because you haven't created the perceived value. Now, you've got an example, and we're going to dig into this a little bit deeper.
Yeah, for sure. I always love when I come across topics of content or like pages or businesses where it's like, how do you make content about this and make it interesting, make it something people actually want to watch, and make it something that actually will sell your products. And I just stumbled across this page this morning. I literally I opened Facebook and I saw this and I'm like, oh my God, look at the. So I haven't even gone through all of their videos, but the couple that I saw is like, imagine trying to make a page about cakes where you sell cakes, like birthday cakes and wedding cakes. And how do you make really interesting content about that over and over? And what's most cake businesses probably going to do? They're going to take a picture of the cake. Right? They're going to take a picture of the cake. And this person found an interesting way to make that really, really valuable. So people want to watch and make it entertaining. And so I'll show you this page. It's called Raw and Real Cakes. So I guess, shout out to them. But this page here They don't have a ton of followers, but they've got these videos that just get insane amounts of views. So they get typically over 1,000, but they're seeing 28,000 here. There was another one down here that was up in the millions, 2.6 million on this. Is just unbelievable. I mean, I don't even really know what's going on as I'm watching this, but apparently 2.6 million people wanted to watch this. Talking about a coating. So it's this velour coating, a big trend in the cake industry.
Yeah.
So
and I would assume there's wow. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
that's interesting.
Yeah, no, that was cool. Okay. So I get that. And I would assume there's a lot of people in the baking world who are doing this, maybe not as professionals, but just interested in that from an amateur perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's interesting, I noticed about this particular girl, not only does she sell, I don't know if it's just her, there's probably more people in this company, but not only does she sell just the cakes and the actual product, but she also sells video recipes for like $15 and $20. So you go to her. Yeah. So if we tapped into her website here, so she's catering to both audiences, the people that I don't want to make my cake. I want you to make it for me and I want it to be perfect. And it's for this event. Then there's the people that are just either baking enthusiasts or people that just want to bake the cake. And so I believe we go here and we should be able to go here. And then, so we've got this website. It's really not the best website, if I'm being honest, but let's see, we go to online ordering here.
And well, I can't see that because you got to share your screen. Yeah, no, let's be very honest. I love honesty.
Yeah, my bad. So here we go. So this is our homepage, and yeah, I mean, it's not the best looking website.
This is the homepage.
This is the homepage. Yeah. So there should be some kind of a hero section up here that should be advertising the main product she wants to sell, and it should have a very clear call to action on how to at least get in contact, or some kind of lead magnet, or some kind of discount, some kind of something to instigate a purchase right away, or at least get them on a list.
Yeah.
But as you click around in here, you eventually find that, okay, they've got all these cakes, right? All cakes are vegan, refined from sugar, not baked, gluten-free. That should be a detail. That should be really, really big. That's a big selling point. Actually, I didn't even learn that from looking at her content.
That's crazy.
I learned that just now.
Vegan, free from refined sugar, not baked, gluten-free, and unprocessed. What?
Yeah.
That's insane, dude.
And they look really, really good. I might actually order one and try it, because
that's fascinating, because you had to dig for that when that should really be right. Go back to the home page. Go back to the landing page. So you land on a freaking about us section. It's so bad. Real and raw and real cakes powered by plants. I mean, from the website, I would never know that it's all like, you need the most important benefit. And I would think the most important benefit is the real and raw aspect of it, because that's what the dang thing's called. That needs to be front and center. That detail about those being gluten-free, no refined sugar, unprocessed, to me, that's huge, because they also look amazing.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And, and I like these examples, though, because it just goes to show that you don't have to be a professional to have something that'll work, right?
They do have it down below the fold. So that right there, that's called below the fold. You have to scroll in order to see it. Again, a detail that I would change about it. But you're right. There needs to be a better or easier way to get on some sort of a list. A pop-up, get 20% off your first video recipe purchase or cake purchase, right? That's a huge thing. People will opt in for that 20% off your first purchase. That's a great opt-in offer. It's what you see a lot of times online retailers use, who sell t-shirts and clothing and stuff like that, to try to get an opt-in. So I get 20% off your first purchase. Even buy one, get one free. I mean, make it so stupid and irresistible. You can always change it. As a first-time customer, I'd like to, claim your BOGO. mean, obviously you don't want to make it look like you're giving stuff away desperately, but there are a couple of marketing changes that for sure, without them, people are going to come here exactly like we're going to do here right now, leave, and you'll never know that they'd been here.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
And
you could
something I think is
obviously, one last thing, place a pixel on your page and do some retargeting ads on
absolutely.
Facebook. And that's definitely a way to utilize paid ads, which we don't talk about a lot, but we are going to delve into more over the rest of the year, because at least using retargeting ads, and it's not a difficult thing to set up, friends. It's not like you have to wait on us to do it. I mean, we can help you take it to the next level as we either train you on our own Facebook practices, bring in additional Facebook experts. But if somebody had a site like this, I would say, hey, do these things that we've said, that we've suggested so far. Also, run $20 a day in retargeting ads. So when people do leave your site and they are scrolling back on Facebook, they keep seeing your face and your name come up. And those count as those additional exposures that you hear about when it's like it takes 7 to 10 exposures to convert a sale. Those would be examples of that 7 to 10. If somebody saw your ads continuing to pop up, and that's the beauty of retargeting ads, is that they're only shown to people who have been on your site. So you don't pay. It's cheaper. It's a
Yeah.
smaller audience. So you can continue to pound those people with ads. So those would be some of the changes that I would make to this particular site in its marketing, of course. But ultimately, we're also talking about value here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing that they could do that's really interesting, that unique thing that'll kind of stand them out, and it's something nobody else can do, or nobody else is doing, they could do it, is she's already got, the recipes for, looks like, most of the things that she makes here. And, that's an easy, value add that she can, I'm going to give you that for free when you order, your cake from me. So now you've got this way to add this seemingly, right, $15 to $20 worth of value onto their purchase. And you don't actually have to take anything out of pocket to do it. A lot of times, how do these companies do that, right? It's usually free shipping. It's usually a discount code. It's usually, here's a credit on your next purchase, like we talked about before. Now you've got something that's a huge value add that you can give to somebody. So if they like it and they want to make it themselves, they can. They have all the resources, and it didn't cost you anything to deliver that with it. You send an email with all the stuff in there, which is really, really, really cool. But I mean, I just really liked how this caters to, two different audiences. This is a very interesting. And then in terms of the content itself, so let me come back over here. We'll share this tab instead. So, I mean, they just found she's a really creative. She might not be the best website builder, but she's a good content creator. It seems like she's found a way. Here's 2.5 million here. Get that kind of views, it's just a satisfying video to watch. 2.5 million on this, and it's putting icing on the cake. Most people, I think, in this particular space, probably we don't see much content because there's not much good content. The people who are able to figure out how to get the attention are really the ones that are standing out. But just panning around the cake is not going to be the thing that does it. It's not going to be the thing that does it. And then this bit of text on here, I don't know what significance this plays. Maple syrup is the same as white sugar. Stop brainwashing people. She's just taking those negative comments and just kind of like highlighting them and proudly saying that they're wrong, I guess. I don't know. I'm speculating. I'm just kind of guessing what her point by that is. But there's a lot of them here.
Well, yeah, she's taking, which we all can learn from. She's taking, as many people do, negative comments that come through and highlighting them instead of running, instead of being afraid of them, highlighting them and addressing them head on. Because as a content creator, and this has to do with your space, you owning your space, no matter where you're standing, whether physically or metaphorically speaking. For example, your Instagram page, your Facebook page, your YouTube channel is your domain, your home, your space. And so nobody comes into, let me move the microphone. Nobody comes into your house and pushes you around. So she's owning the tools that she has, which is the ability to be able to control the narrative, control the conversation, not afraid of negative comments, quite frankly, looking at them as an opportunity to create more content. And it's a great lesson for us. It's a great teachable moment for us. So many content creators, so many marketers, so many people are doing that today. And it's smart. It's brilliant. It's like when I was so afraid for people to know, oh my God, I'm an addict, or I've gotten clean from drugs and alcohol, over the last year. This is how I thought in 2008, 9, when I started to come online and was marketing. Didn't want anybody to know about my past. I'd been arrested. I was an addict for 10 years. I was homeless. I dropped out of school in 9th grade. I had been arrested. And I was afraid of people knowing these things about me. And when I stopped being afraid of that and just told my story, hey, I'm a recovering addict. I've been sober for a year. I did network marketing because I initially marketed to network marketers. And I was chasing my friends and family. And I came online looking to try to learn how to generate leads online. And I discovered a process to do it. And it was much of what we do still to this day. But that was my story. And I began to tell it. And I said, hey, I want to see my story through. And of course, I want to make something out of myself and my life. And I've got goals and I've got dreams. And I want to turn my mess into a message. And, I added my personal, but my point here is taking negativity and turning it changing the narrative on it, switching the frame on it, taking control of how people perceive it. Just like we were talking about a moment ago, value is also created in your marketing materials by the way that you explain things. You create the value that you're offering. By you explaining it, by you writing copy, words are the easiest way to explain value. And you don't even need fancy graphics. When we talk about, obviously with cakes, you can't explain value with a picture. And I would stand to be corrected and would agree that in that case, a picture is worth 1,000 words. But in most cases, especially doing what we do, which is teach people how to sell information, courses, coaching, events, doing affiliate marketing, selling digital products, right? Which we really fell in love with over COVID because you could deliver them instantly. And we realized the power of them. And plus the e-learning online course space and coaching space is growing to $1 billion a day industry very quickly. Look it up, fact check, right? Don't take my word for it. But words mostly can be used to describe value. That's why writing copy or learning how to use ChatGPT, for example, in a way that helps you to write powerful descriptive messages can allow you to create that perceived value about whatever your product is in your marketing material, in your emails, on your sales pages, which is what sells somebody on wanting to do it. They don't know what it's like. And this is one of the things you have to remember as a marketer. People don't know what you know. I had a client say this to me one time. His name was Mario. We're still friends. He's in the real estate niche. He wanted to learn how to take his sales presentations to the next level and close more sales from his live presentations. That's what we worked on. And I helped him craft a better presentation and close more sales in a live room. But he said, yeah, I realized that my clients, my wisdom is not their wisdom. They don't know what I know. They don't see what I see. I have to explain it to them. I have to make them see it. I have to help them understand it. And that's why value, when we say deliver value out online, you have to put yourself in somebody else's shoes and ask yourself, how would I like this explained if I was brand new? because your wisdom's not their wisdom. Their knowledge is not your knowledge. They don't know what you know. So you got to take them back to the basics, to square one, and say, look, here, I know what it's like to be in your place. Here's how I got out of it. Here's what I did. And here's specifically how I can help. Like, you have to be more specific, because otherwise people don't really understand the value. And when people nowadays, especially in the information or coaching space, they need details. What am I going to get? What's on the other side of this opt-in? The copy where I've added something to a landing page to where I've said, and you'll see this a lot in bullet points of copy when it's marketing an ebook or a book. On page 52, you'll learn XYZ. On page 63, you'll learn this particular formula. On page 65, and it'll go down, creating little seeds, planting little seeds for the specific things that you'll learn on each page. That is the type of perceived value that you have to paint that picture for people. And you can do it with words. You don't have to be a graphic designer. This is why learning how to write copy and writing copy, and even if you're having ChatGPT do it for you, which I do too, but knowing what to look for, knowing which prompts to give and using them correctly, and just becoming a student of this, reading books like The Bulletproof Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy, or The Ultimate Sales Letter by Dan Kennedy, or other books by some of the older marketing books and principles by Gene. His last name's slipping right now.
Eugene Schwartz.
Eugene Schwartz. Some of the best marketing books. You just read some of that old stuff. You everything that you need to know about persuasion and influence is in those things. There's nothing new that anybody's saying, man, in 2025 that hasn't already been said by legends who wrote this shit out damn near on typewriters or with freaking ink pens and shit. I mean, gangster OGs from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. We're standing on the shoulders of giants. We're screwing it up more than we're making it better. Nowadays, we're screwing it up. We're getting away from the things that actually work. And that's why I've told people over and over again with these link tree things, it's like, or these stand stores, they're good software, but the average person comes to your stand store, your link, they don't know what out of 10 things that you offer to really go for, right? They don't really know. I know it feels good to have a little shopping store, but direct response marketing is about driving a specific action one at a time through a specific process, measuring conversions, metrics, making data-driven decisions, making offers, and scaling.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one thing I want to touch on, you said before, which is key, is just, knowing what to look for and just having that knowledge and getting yourself actually educated, because we can show you all kinds of, ways to get stuff put together. We can show you how to use ChatGPT. We could show you how to, but I can tell you what, there is nothing worse than having something. I mean, there's plenty of things that are worse, but it's definitely not good when you have something that is working and you don't know why and you can't replicate it. And I've had that happen on a variety of different levels, right? I've had videos that performed really well and I couldn't figure out why. I've had emails that all of a sudden I noticed I had a boatload of sales that always came from this email and I don't know why. I couldn't figure out how to duplicate it. And at least at the time. And then later on, looking back, you could figure out, really what it was. My most viral video ever, I talk about this all the time, and I didn't even do it on purpose. Part of the reason that video did so well is because of how ugly and awful looking my room was and the comments that people were leaving about it. Dave, I think you watched this video. Remember how I had the curtains draped up over the doors in the background? Remember all that? Yeah, I mean, that wasn't something I intentionally did to get views. That was something that I did because one of the windows in the glass door broke, and I didn't want the cat trying to squeeze through it. So I hung the curtain to block the broken glass. And so people didn't see a broken window in the background. I guess at the time I thought that looked better. I don't know. I should have just chose a different angle. But anyways, I shouldn't have done that. I should have did it exactly the way I did it, because lo and behold, I started getting tons of people commenting that, oh my God, look at this guy. He's got bed sheets hanging on his wall. And it was like this big thing. And I didn't even realize that that was a driver of the performance of that video up until maybe even a year later, right? When I'm trying to go viral again. And I'm like, what was it about this that made it do so well? Because it looks like so many other things I've done. And, those are some of the other elements that stood out. And that it's nice because now you have that as a driver of views. So now the people who are more interested in what you have to share that's of value are going to be able to see it and hear what you have to say. That's the obvious nice thing about going viral, right? But not understanding and knowing what it was that made that work so well, it was frustrating, and that's annoying, and it slows your production down. It slows your ability to grow and scale if you're doing something. And this is partially one of the reasons, outside of any ethics related reasons. This is a big reason I like to tell people not to copy other people, is because, you should definitely not be looking to reinvent the wheel every day, but because you don't have to. It's 2025. You're not going to have any new ideas, but if you're just copying somebody else and your videos are going viral and you're that business is going to die, because eventually you're not going to, if you don't learn, right, what it is that's working, you're going to get this quick spike of like wins, and then you're not going to be able to get back to that place. And we've seen that happen so many times. I mean, Dave can probably tell you even better than me. We've had affiliates come through and make 6 figures, and then next thing you know, they just disappear off the map. Right? It slowly trickles down, and then they're gone forever, and they're unresponsive. And it almost like they're too embarrassed to kind of come back and ask for that help. Like, hey, what went wrong here? Is at least my guess. I'm not saying that anybody feels that way. I'm not putting thoughts in other people's heads, but that we've seen that happen. Right. And now having been around the space for so long, I can kind of tell, like, okay, like that person didn't even have a funnel in their bio, right? It was just going straight directly to an affiliate link, and they managed to make that amount of revenue. And then when, when it stopped working, all of a sudden they never came back, right? So, and I think part of it is just that you copy, so you get stuff that works, but you don't know why it works. And if you don't know why it works, then you can't intentionally do things in that video to make it work better. And you also can't continuously do it in an original way. So being really being a student and really getting educated and learning over time. And it's not something you just learn and do. It really is an experience thing as well. Understanding what to look for, and also just kind of studying material that's out there, right? Dave talks about it all the time. What was it you did in the beginning? I remember you telling me you're on your dad's old computer and it had lots of viruses and it was really slow, and you were just looking at different landing pages and webinar funnels and all kinds of stuff. I do the same thing.
Yeah. No, I was on my dad's computer and it was very slow, had lots of viruses. Who knows why? Not sure where those would have come from. But things that he was looking at, somebody else was looking at, I was looking at, who even knows? 15 years ago, the internet was we didn't have all the, so many, even the computer cleaners or the things were, virus scams and this and that. It was a wild west, really, back then. But I did get on, and I came into I came in the game 10 years selling rap tunes. That's a Notorious B.I.G. line. I don't remember exactly how it goes, but it just came into my head. Either way, we all come into this world the same way, naked, baby. And I was definitely naked and afraid when I started, and I started opting into people's list, and that's exactly how it started for me. And yeah, man, I mean, what you're saying is all facts, brother. What why do people, we've got some things coming. We've got some really exciting updates that are going to be released here very, very soon. Um, I'm not going to go into a ton of details about those today. Our philosophy here at Legendary is really to kind of drop things first, and then hype them up, versus hype them up then drop them. Right? It's a little bit of a different kind of approach, but know that something very big is coming. Something very big is coming very, very soon here in Legendary. And so, keep your eyes peeled, get ready, start revving up your engines now, like really get locked in and dialed in from the perspective of just, you're going to want to go through what we release here. You're probably also going to love it so much. I'm just saying, if you're in the Make Money Online space whatsoever, if any part of your list, any part of your following, any part of your audience is a Make Money Online or wants to learn how to use AI, or wants to learn how to use AI to build a business, or wants to learn how to get in the game here in 2025 and essentially not get left behind, because of course we teach the core 4 ways to make money online selling information, but what we're going to teach in this next release is going to be game changing and will apply to anybody. And as a matter of fact, more than anything, what we're going to be showing people here moving forward is how to use AI to start, even if you don't even know if you want to start a business, but you want AI to help you figure it out, and have AI help you figure out what you may be able to start a business about. We're going to have AI actually helping people create their business plans. And so the way in which AI is going to be changing the way that our clients basically move through our education, the way at which the speed at which they create, the speed at which they launch, the speed at which we can teach people and get them launched into action, earning their first dollar, getting their first result in scaling and growing from there, is going to be a lot more rapid. It's going to be a lot more rapid, because we've been working behind the scenes, for the past few months to prepare to be able to make this shift to fully utilizing both our knowledge and combining it with AI, not to get good at AI or to do anything with software itself, but to train people how to use AI, because it's not AI that's going to replace you. It's somebody who knows how to use AI. That's who's going to replace you in all aspects of your life. Maybe, hopefully your home is safe. Hopefully your marriage or your relationship was safe. I'm not saying that you're going to get canceled because you ain't bringing AI into your relationship. But what I'm saying is, in the workforce, in most industries, yeah, you're not going to lose your job or your advantage or your livelihood to AI. You're going to lose it to some other Tom, Dick, or Harry who knows how to use AI, who's no better than you, who's no smarter than you. Same reason why you're not rich from YouTube. Same reason why you're not rich from Instagram, because somebody else knew about it sooner, jumped on it faster, followed through with it more consistently. And that same opportunity exists right now here for you with AI. And people will look back in 5 years and say, damn, man, Imagine if I would have got in on the early days of AI. It's the same type of shit over and over again. People say, damn, I wish I would have gotten in early on Bitcoin. Damn, I wish I would have gotten early in on TikTok, man. I wish I would have gotten early in on YouTube.
Yeah.
Here's
I
your
could go back
chance.
in time.
Don't mess it up. Don't fumble, folks. We're going to prepare you. We're going to give you all the tools. I'm telling you what's coming here, and it's literally just getting tweaked and tested. It's all ready. It's ready to rock. We're going to be releasing some incredible things. Trust me. You won't be able to say that and have this at your fingertips, because we're going to give you a blueprint that's going to work for anybody to be able to get crystal clarity about what exactly somebody can do, even if they've never used AI or never done marketing before or any online business before. And then also how you can take AI, any average person, and have it do the majority of the heavy lifting in your business for you, which we have it do as well. Once again, back in the game, eating our own cooking, doing what we do.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. I mean, I see people all the time ask the question, right? Especially on social media, they make these posts, right? If you could go back to a younger you, what would you say? Right? Buy Amazon, buy Tesla, buy Google, right? Those are all the things, right? That's where we're at today with AI. We're just on the tip of the iceberg. We're scratching the surface. Everybody know what an iceberg looks like? You have a little tiny little speck, a little hill of ice that looks massive sticking out up top, and it's 20 and 50 times the size of that underneath the water that you can't see. And right now we're just slowly walking our way down from the tip to that water, and we're getting there's a lot more. And when I say scratching the surface, right, they literally have AI. They call them AI agents today. You can have this AI do all of your admin tasks basically for you. It can run an entire customer support team. People don't know they're talking to a robot. It can answer the phone and close sales for you. There's so much stuff it can do. We're just scratching the surface. I mean, you could literally have an email come in, somebody asking to schedule a meeting with you. Your AI agent sees the email, reads it, looks at your schedule because it's connected, and then looks at your available times and then sends an email back with the available times, asking if any one of those works for that person. Then that person replies and says this, and then your agent makes the appointment, and all you saw was a notification on your phone that you got to get on a meeting at 4:00. That's literally just a small sample of what this AI is capable of doing. And that's not even that amazing, right? Because, it's not that amazing. So, okay, it's making appointments. But if it's capable of doing that, right, it's capable of doing way more than that.
Yeah.
And this is going to be the type of stuff that we're going to, we're going to start making sure you're well aware of and learning about prior to.
And let me tell you something. You want to know why I know that this is the hottest thing going since sliced bread? No lie. And I just got off the phone with my dad. I was talking to him at 10:01, and I was like, "Yeah, I got to jump off and jump on the show." But anyways, he came over yesterday. He was like, "Yeah, I'd like to stop by, just say hello." Comes in, we make him lunch, and we're sitting down, we're having lunch, and he's like, "So, I'll be taking an AI course," he says. "Oh, yeah? Yep. Yeah, taking a little AI course myself," pulls it out, goes through what he's going to be learning. And, the details. And, people want to learn this stuff, man. And it's smart of you if you do, right? Because even if you're just using it for your own personal life, it allows you to be so much more independent, in control, self-reliant, right? You don't have to wonder. You don't have to ask. It's so much more precise. It blows the Google search engine, which up until this point, we've had information at our fingertips, but we've had to the thing that's wrong with Google, and this is what's wrong with all media nowadays, is everything's manipulated and it's bullshit. And of course, I saw that, and I've seen that. When you become successful, you see essentially how the game's just been rigged. When you search something on Google, you don't even get legitimate results. You get the results of the most authoritative domains. So, if you have a blog that's got really good information, but it's got no authority because it's not very well known, or it's not got a lot of traffic, or it's not been around for 20 years or whatever, it doesn't have domain authority. And Google actually gives every website a score, and it will rank. It'll also rank you based on what other websites link back to you, backlinks, and people have manipulated this stuff. Also, a site that has much more domain authority is going to rank higher for a term or a keyword or a search phrase in Google than another site. There's no rhyme or reason. What artificial intelligence does is it truly synthesizes, and that's a fun word, and I love words, but it synthesizes all of the information, which means takes it and brings it together in a way that then can deliver it and make it make sense. Now, is it bias? We don't know. I don't believe so. What it seems to not, where its boundaries seem to be, it will go wherever you tell it to go. At least ChatGPT, for example, it won't promote violence. It won't promote anything that's going to hurt somebody. It won't help you to make something that's going to hurt people or hurt yourself. I have skated some of those boundaries, not of course because I'm not in that particular topic, but just around even persuasion and psychology, and it wanted to ensure that I was using that for good and not evil, right? So that would be the sort of boundaries that I'm talking about. But now it's a much simpler tool. I even said to my dad yesterday, a lot of ChatGPT is just about downloading the app and beginning to use it, of course, just for general use anyways, general questions, personal questions. Now, business and marketing use, obviously, I will give it prompts or commands that are multiple paragraphs long because I want such a precise, or I want to offer so much context. That's also, though, how I communicate. I like to give more information up front because it cuts down on back and forth. I know that if somebody's coming back to me with questions after I've given them a directive or something, I wasn't clear enough. It wasn't that they don't understand, it's that I wasn't clear enough. And so a lot of that communication practice of giving additional context, simplifying and clarifying that I've been working on for years really benefits me when writing and communicating and ordering, prompting, commanding AI to do what I want and give me what I want. And I think that is the power of it and why everybody wants to use it right now, because it's not only has the ability, and there are so many different pieces of software that are coming out and so many versions, and it's being iterated and improved, but people want to learn it. People know about it. They're hearing about it. It's simple enough for them to use. It's made for you to use. It's been created for you to use. It's not made only for programmers or coders to use. It's made for everyday numbnuts like me, ninth grade dropouts, to use. Former construction workers. Ryan comes over and works with me here in my studio, and I'm typing, and I have other screens up. When I'm typing, you can see me typing, and he's appalled by how horrible my typing is, and it's got spelling errors.
Oh, it's bad.
And pecking. It's way worse than you even think.
It's
right?
bad.
But even AI, and I've been writing copy and making millions of dollars, even writing like that. So This
No.
stuff is made to use. It's made for you to use. It's time to learn it. We're going to teach the world. Help us spread the message. Big things dropping very, very soon. Very, very soon. Get to Nashville also. Let's put a banner up. I got that. Let's see, where's it at? legendarymarketermastermind.com/Nashville. Get your booty there. It's going to be a blast. VIP sold out immediately. Sorry. There are still tickets left, but we're about 50% sold out. So get a ticket. We'll see you there. Ryan, take us home, brother. I need to go rest my voice for a few minutes, I think.
Yeah, man. I mean, you really went to town today. You were going. I had an easy job this morning. I just got to sit here and listen to you. I was on the good side of it. But yeah, I mean, no, I mean, this is a great conversation that went a whole lot of different directions. I mean, we started talking about cakes, and here we are talking about icebergs of AI and AI agents and all this different stuff. And yeah, and I wholeheartedly agree that this is just something that's super interesting that most people are curious about right now, right? When in history were there times where something was just kind of taking the world by storm and everybody was just curious as hell about it? And that's what this is, right? It's almost kind of like when you have a big event in the news and all of a sudden everybody starts talking about it, except it's a multi-year drawn out thing. And it's something that's every household people are talking about. Every podcast, they're talking about it. Every school, they're talking about it. Everywhere where there's people, they're talking about it to some degree, right? It's either a conversation that's, oh my God, can you believe this? Or it's people getting down and dirty, really trying to figure it out. And that's what we're looking to do. And so I do, and this isn't just hype when I'm saying, like, because I forget exactly how it happened, but I think we both came in one morning and we're on a video call and we're just like, dude, we gotta really get into AI a lot more. And you were like, dude, it's funny you say that because I was just thinking that the other day myself, and I was going to bring it up. And then that's how this all kind of began going in this direction. But this really is a modern day gold rush. It's basically, I mean, I think it's Amazon and Tesla before the stocks went to the moon. That's what I think it is. So if you treat this like that, right? Like Dave said before, get in early. You're going to be very, very grateful for that. You're going to be very grateful for that, right? Because if you wait and, you wait, it's going to become one of those things. Oh, I didn't hear about it until too late, right? You do have that opportunity today to really get in and start learning and start understanding it. You don't have to be an expert in tech. Just learn it, understand it, be able to articulate it, be able to communicate with it, use it to your advantage. There's so many things that you can become an expert in by getting good at learning how to use AI. And there's also so many things that you already are an expert in, and you don't even friggin' realize it. But AI will make it very clear to you how you are an expert in that thing and how you can make money doing that thing.
And that's essentially what we're going to teach you and show you and essentially show the world. That's the hit. That's the big piece.
That's the tease. That's the big tease. So, yeah, and we're going to walk you step by step through how to do it. But yeah, man, I mean, that's, I don't want to pile too much more on top of that. I mean, I think we made our point here. For sure, man.
Sounds good. Well, my friends, have an amazing weekend. We'll see you back here Monday. Please, I just put the link in the comments. If you can get there to Nashville, secure your ticket, make the moves, schedule it, plan it, meet us there, and put your seatbelt on. The next few weeks, this summer is going to be an amazing summer. It's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be a lot of fun, and for those of you who feel the storm coming inside of your life and your business, because you've put in the hard work and that you're putting in the work and the dedication to be able to see that fruit. You've been planting seeds. Hold on, your time is coming. I see you. I know the grind. I know the hustle. I know the ups and downs. Hang in there. Believe in yourself. And if you don't, know that I believe in you. And don't quit until your miracle happens, my friends. All right, get out of here. Have a fantastic Friday and a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday for another episode. See you, Ryan. Peace.
Peace.